James here from Barbechoo.com and welcome back to another cook on the channel. And today we are making chicken gyros. So this is a marinated chicken, typically made in Greece. And we're going to marinate the chicken down, we're going to make flatbreads and we're going to serve it with a tzatziki sauce. Tzatziki, I don't know, we're calling it tzatziki sauce.
Tzatziki sauce.
So to kick things off, I have roughly about 5 chicken thighs, they're boneless chicken thighs, and I've cut them up into smaller chunks. Idea being it cuts down the marinating time a little, so we can put this in here, leave it for around an hour, and it really gets those flavours in there. So the main flavour for our marinade is coming from the new Greek Gyros rub from Smokey. So you can make it up yourself, but this has everything in there that you want for a flavour profile for gyros. So we're going to go in with roughly around, brand new, go in with roughly 2 tablespoons worth. We're also going to go in there with the juice of half a lemon. Again, squeeze it in your hand, make sure you don't get the pips in there. Okay, and lastly, oil. So oil is what's going to mix in with the herbs and spices and coat the chicken in it. So we're just using the brighter gold. Again, it's hickory smoked, a little bit of smoke flavour in there. I'm just going to put a good glug of that over the chicken. Now the messy bit. We get in with our hands, mix that all together. Once you mix all through, if you think it needs a little bit more rub, you can add it. Hand still clean. Another dusting over the top. The lemon's really going to help tenderize the chicken. Let's say if we leave it for a little while, all those spices are going to penetrate into the chicken, and then when we cook it, it's going to give them the maximum flavour. So, going to go pop that into the fridge, like I say, for around an hour. If you can leave it for longer, then go for it, but I would say probably an hour at the minimum. Then we're going to get on with making the tzatziki. Okay, then to make the tzatziki, we need to peel just over half a cucumber, and we need to get the moisture out of it. So you want to get as much moisture out of this as possible, because once you add it into the yogurt, too much moisture in here will just end up with a watery, tasteless mess. So just go down, peel the cucumber. Okay, then we have good old box grater bowl. We're just going to start grate the entire thing. Alright, so you can already see in that bowl there is a lot of moisture in there. What we're going to do is add a tiny dash of vinegar and a pinch of salt to it, and give it a mix around to coat it in the vinegar. It might seem a little bit silly to be adding vinegar in there because you're just adding more moisture, but the vinegar and salt together are going to work to pull all the moisture out of the cucumber, and then once we press it afterwards, we're getting the maximum amount of moisture out of there. So we'll leave that to one side and let that do its magic for a wee minute. Then we'll go in with our Greek yogurt. This is around 160 grams of Greek yogurt, and the only thing we're really going to add to it is about half a teaspoon of garlic. It's just garlic granules. You can use garlic powder as well. I'm going to do a bit of pepper, sprinkling of salt, and I'm going with a little bit more oil, a couple of tablespoons of oil. Use olive oil or flavoured rapeseed oil. No spoon, hold on, back with spoon. Okay, just give that a mix up. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so it only takes a few minutes to pull that moisture out of the cucumber. You can maybe already see how much is in the bowl. You don't want that floating around in your sauce. So what we need to do is strain it, and the easiest way is with a clean tea towel. Tell the missus. Into a bowl and just pour that in. Gather up the corners. Squeeze down. Oh. Twist it a few times. Make sure you have as much out of there as possible. So again, you do not want that in your sauce. So bring back in our yogurt. And we can take the shredded cucumber, just add it straight in there. And then mix it all through. Yeah, it looks good. Consistency, still nice and creamy. Okay, so tzatziki's done. We're going to pretend it's been an hour, and I'm going to run and get the chicken. It's had a good 30 or 40 minutes, but I need to get on with this. Leave that to the side. I'll clean down, and we'll come back and get the chicken skewered up, and we'll get it onto the grill. Okay, chicken has been marinating for an hour, and we're going to get it skewered up. I'm going to put a glove on, try and use clean hand, dirty hand method for this. Got some double prong skewers here. Double prong ones are always a little bit easier to turn on because the chicken won't just spin around on it. So we're just going to take the pieces and thread them onto this. Okay, I don't want to pack it too tight, so it'll just take far too long to cook. So if you spread it out a little bit thinner, it's fine to have them touching, but you just don't want to smash them all onto the one. This isn't like a shawarma or anything like that that's going to be cooking over a long period of time, and it's constantly moving around. All four done. Those are going directly onto the grates to cook. First, I'll talk about the flatbreads. I'm going to get rid of my glove and wash up. So for the flatbreads, we're making our own dough. In true Blue Theatre fashion, here's one I made earlier. So I will leave the full recipe for this in the description below. But basically it's just you make up your dough, knead it for around 5 minutes, throw it into an oiled bowl, and then allow it to rise for around an hour. It should double in size at that point. So now we're going to portion it out and roll them out into the flatbreads. So these only take a couple of minutes each to cook. So we're going to get the chicken on, get it going. Once it's almost ready, we'll move it over to that cooler side of the barbecue, and we can start cooking these off. So everything should be ready around the same time. So we'll throw the chicken skewers on and we'll start portioning this out. Alright, flatbreads. This is the dough I made earlier on, and it has doubled in size. So now we're going to tip it out onto the chopping board, portion it up and roll it out. Rather than using flour on the chopping board, I'm going to drizzle oil onto it. There's oil in the recipe, so it makes more sense to use oil, and I honestly think it works a little better. Tip the dough out. Knock all the air out of it. So even it out, and so we'll go roughly into 4 portions. Looks good enough. Each of those, just make them into a little dough ball, and we're going to roll these out. So just keep going until they're out the size you want them. So our chicken is almost done. The chicken thighs, I always like to take them a little bit higher, so it's up to sort of 80, 83-ish. They're just a slightly tougher meat than breast, so, and they don't dry out as easy either. I just think that makes them a little bit more tender. So I'm going to move those over to the side with very little coals on them, and then we're going to get one of these on. And just pick it up, drop it straight on. Close the lid down and we can get the next one done. flatbreads are ready, our tzatziki is ready, and our chicken is ready. Lift that off. Nice little gnarly charred bits on it. Those are my favourite. Oh, the smell. So good. Right, I think we need to plate one up, give it a go. One plate. Glove on here because these skewers are so hot. Now, because we're in a double skewer, we want to chop this up. So while it's on the skewer, I'm just going to run my knife down through the centre of it. I'm using the back of the knife, not the blade. Push it all off. Smell, I wish you could smell this. It's unreal. So start off with one of our flatbreads in there. A little bit of lettuce that my missus kindly chopped for me. Put some of that on. Then with the tongs, get some of that chicken spread up the middle. Last but not least, tzatziki. Just dollop it down the middle. I'm calling that done. Alright, we'll have to give it a try. Put that up. Take a big boy bite. Here goes. That's spot on. Perfect flavour from that rub and the marinade. I've made gyros a few times before and I've always made the marinade up from scratch myself. So I was definitely interested to see if this packed the same flavour as making it up with the oil yourself. 100% did. I'd love to try it just on the chicken dry itself, see what it's like. But using it that way is perfect. Flatbreads are awesome. And the tzatziki, again, was never a fan, but recently I really started coming around to it, especially in this context, so need to use that a lot more. So if you want to give this a go, again, I'll leave the recipe for the flatbreads, method for the gyros, and the tzatziki recipe will all be in the description box below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again next week.